Welcome to Coaching Uncut, a special series on the Unstoppable Woman podcast, where I take you behind the scenes and give you a peek into the private coaching I do with my clients. All of these coaching calls have been recorded with the permission from my clients who have generously allowed me to share these with you as a way of helping more people in this world. They give you access to master level coaching and the opportunity to learn the lessons that they're learning right along with them. Please keep in mind that these recordings are not studio productions and the audio quality may be less than ideal, but the content will take you far and help you become unstoppable. With that, listen in and learn. Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome.
Are you already in Florida?
I am not. We leave tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, soon.
Getting excited.
Very soon.
I feel like I'm in Florida already, except minus the palm trees. Friggin' heat.
Because it's so freaking muggy and hot and all of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, I just need to stay in my hermetically sealed temperature
air conditioning
environment. This is why I'm very indoorsy.
Yeah. And New York is just like, it's brutal when it's super hot because it gets all like
stinky and disgusting.
Yeah, totally.
It's gross. Fortunately, I have a beautiful apartment in which I can do that.
I know. I love that.
So you heard the latest with the thing, and I really am, wow, to say I'm 100% over it would be dishonest because, there's a little piece of me that's still like, but
yeah, totally.
You know, it is what it is, and I'm moving forward, and, later I wrote back just a little thing because I didn't want her to interpret it as me being, pissed in some way that I only gave her like a little check mark. So a little bit later I was just like, hey, understand, I know you'll let me know when you're ready, or something light and easy, and
good.
Looking forward to our session on. Yeah, exactly. So there's that. So then I wanted to bring up, two other things. I have a breakthrough call later today with this woman who is in my LinkedIn network as a first degree contact, but I have no idea how I know her because we've never worked together and I've never met her. But after my last post, she signed up for time, so that's cool. I had a breakthrough call, sort of like the second of a breakthrough call with this other woman last Friday who, interestingly enough, is interested in my help in making a transition. She's out of her job at a consulting firm that she's been part of the last 10 years into starting her own thing or what she wants to do next. Anyway, it's still out there, but I was not able to get her over her fear of making the commitment to the investment in herself. But again, it's not totally dead. She was waiting to hear about another gig that she has coming up this week and wanted that time, and I gave in. So I got to sharpen on that. Anyway, so those things are brewing. And then another person reached out to me on LinkedIn who I knew 20 years ago, who is the least likely person I'd think be reaching out. She is the CFO for the or something. Anyway, we're talking, but not until a while ago. So those things are good. Other thing that came up is I was introduced through, again, a different former colleague. She put me in touch with this other executive coach and said, you guys should meet, you're my favorite people or something like that. Okay, fine. So I'm having a conversation with her later. That's more of a networking thing. And to get to the point, the point is why I guess it's normal, but there's a part of me that's always I'm sort of okay, why am I meeting this person? It's a competitor, that whole noise. And then enveloped in the broader noise that keeps coming up for me around the but this whole corporate world of coaching versus not, and the resistance that I have around there. Obviously that resistance hasn't stopped me. The proposal with that equity firm is still out there. I won't bore you with that. And I would do it again and do more. So, but I feel, I don't know, it's what am I not seeing here in terms of my attitude, which I think is not necessarily productive.
So, what are you asking? You're asking, how do you change your attitude?
Yeah, well, pick a different attitude and just start behaving that way. I'm not trying to be flip, but yes, that's true. That is what I'm asking. But I think I'm asking the precursor question, and maybe you're going to tell me it doesn't matter, which is, why does this irritate me? Again, I come back to the stone in the shoe feeling. Like, what's that irritation trying to tell me? Or I just have to get over myself?
Yeah, a little bit of both. So what is that irritation telling you? I mean, I think it's embedded in the question you just asked. Do you see that?
I sort of, but this is one of those like slight fog moment rolling in.
So you asked, you were like, I'm in competition mode. Okay?
Yes, and that's not the place.
And that's correct. So I think the thing that this is showing you is that you don't like that place. Okay?
Right.
It's not where you want to be. And that you need to change how that's working for you. Right? How you're actually showing up in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's the, I don't like that place, but it's also sort of embedded within this whole like notion of competition, because we're not even, it's not even a competition right now, but like, why do I feel threatened on some level? Like, and it really goes back to this deeper thing of, I must not be good enough. I mean, it's fucking preposterous. Like, nothing's even happened. Someone's trying to make an introduction, thinks we would get along well. I'm sure she's lovely. Like, we're doing different things. Like, who cares? Right? But my mind immediately goes to this, I'm going to somehow feel less than. What if she asks me X, Y, or Z question and I feel like I'm a shyster? Like, that, all that gets picked up. And I guess to your question, to me, it's more about the awareness of, and taking responsibility for the fact that I'm assigning those meanings. I'm creating all of that in my head. It's not like I have a choice to not do that. It's not intrinsically part of the interaction that I will have with this other coach,
I think what I'm saying here is you asked, what's the underlying whatever, okay?
Right.
And
right.
I think the answer lies in that you're being called for to figure out why you don't like the feeling of being in competition and what the mental reframe is, the thought reframe around it.
Right.
And how do you then, once you know that, how do you then hold yourself to that energetic standard, if you will? Okay?
Right. That's my work now.
Yeah. And you need a reframe on this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the reframe is?
Well, I mean, I'm going in different directions. The reframe on this particular example of where this is being triggered, or more broadly, my feelings about competition?
More broadly.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a reframe so much as it's me coming back to the truth of abundance, and that there is no, it's not like I don't have to compete, because competing is driven by, I feel like there's not enough. And if I get mine, either I get mine or you get it, but we can't both have it. And that's false.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you either believe the universe is abundant or you believe that there's not enough. Okay. So you need to start believing that it's abundant. And here's the thing. It took me a long time. Okay. I'd love to say, oh yeah, magic. But it took me a long time to really get that in my body. And sometimes I still feel like it's not in this scenario that you're sharing, but there will be other times where I'm like, I'll look at the way someone is successful and feel that not enoughness, which is really what that is. Okay?
Yeah.
But the thing is that the moment I feel that, the moment I say, I recognize it in my body, I shift and I acknowledge what it is and I shift out of it. I hold myself to that higher standard. And that is super important. Okay? It's like such a key understanding, a key piece to all of this. Okay?
Right.
And, you know, one thing that you can say to ask yourself is, you know, what is the truth?
Right.
And how would I need to approach this from a level of truth?
Which is, in essence, what you were asking me with the reframe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But bringing the truth with it, which goes back to law.
Mm-hmm. You know, what is the truth here? And then how would I feel if I really believed that truth?
Yeah.
How would I show up?
Yeah.
Who would I be on that call? How would I be speaking? How would I be talking? Right? Like you just, you dive into it and you own it. Okay?
Yeah. Got it. Perfect. I get the process and I will definitely do that. And how eager I am to fully, I'm not fighting with anything you're saying. It's just acknowledging the abundance thing. Like I'm preaching this and talking about this all the time and, just aware of the challenge of breaking the deep-seated attachment to that everyone knows there isn't enough. You know what I mean?
Right. that we have to be in competition. And when you get this, it's so liberating. It's so free. So I just want to reiterate what the steps are. So you notice the feeling in your body. You notice what that feeling relates to in terms of how you're thinking. Okay, so now you have a level of a conscious awareness, not just an automatic reactivity. And you're like, oh, I'm in scarcity. Okay, that's not who I am. That's not the truth of the universe, and it's not the truth of who I am. So what would I need to think in order to be in truth? You know that already. That's simple. Okay, there's no scarcity. There's only abundance. Okay, and here's a little wackadoodle meta twist for you. There can be abundance of scarcity. Okay, there's only abundance. Right? Like when you're in that competition, when you're in that doubt, when you're in that worry, when you're in that fear, that is an abundance of all the things you don't want. There's only abundance. Let's put it on the things that you do want. Okay? Okay. Then you ask, it's big, right? And then you ask yourself, okay, how would I feel if I actually truly in my body understood this, knew it? And you instantly get a feeling. And then you start testing and tweaking. Okay, if I showed up on the call like this and you use your imagination, would I feel that way? Right? How would I feel? Oh, I'm imagining that I'm going to be in competition. I'm imagining that this person's going to be in competition with me. Right? Like all of that stuff. How would I feel if I was like supportive and open and interested and curious and wanting to help? Right? That would feel totally different. Okay? So you can start with the feeling, and that will give you the ideas. You can start with the ideas, that'll give you the feeling, but you then use your imagination to set your GPS for that conversation.
Yeah.
Okay? If you've already had the conversation, if you're doing this afterwards, oh look, I was in scarcity and I don't want to be in scarcity, then you imagine the scenario differently. This is something I've done for years. I reimagine what happened, not from I'm going to pretend that I was different, okay? But I'm going to reimagine, like, not pretending that it never happened, okay? But it is, I mean, from a logic mind perspective, but it is saying to yourself, this is what I wanted to happen. This is how I want to show up next time.
Yeah.
Okay? And you set that as what happens. Okay?
Yeah. Brilliant. Love it. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this episode of Coaching Uncut. Let us know in the comments what you learned and how you can apply it to your own life and business. We absolutely love hearing from you. And we also love receiving your feedback. So thank you in advance for your likes and reviews. They really help us connect with more women who need this information to help them scale. So much appreciated for that and taking the time to do that. Now, if it's go time for you and you're ready to scale your life and your business, then I want to offer you up something. I want to offer you access to our Be Unstoppable Facebook group. We drop daily and weekly resources in this free group that show you exactly how to scale, what you need to be doing differently. So if you want access to that group and it's go time for you, go to theunstoppablewoman.com/Facebook group, and that will redirect you there. So theunstoppablewoman.com/Facebook group, no spaces, and start by getting your copy of the Scale Plan, which lives there, and it's totally free. So go do that now, and then tune in to the next episode and continue to be unstoppable.